How does that look?
Okay, that's better. Yep, thank you. It's good. Good video, good audio. Thank you.
Something happening in the oven where you have a quiet walk.
Yes.
I see. This is exciting. What's happening?
Oh, just another.
The modifying walk, opposite the station.
Yes, much better. Looking forward to it.
That is such good timing for the holidays. So all of our visitors will see it or it will be up.
Well, as long as we get the okay from Stewart. I'll hold them for saying.
Thank you. But I think it's the way it's going to do. We can see.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, but let it not be going in. Eventually, you know, we've been waiting. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You've been watching that. What's that? So welcome to our final meeting for the year. Technology.
Okay, Harley, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I'm just having to reset everything on the live stream. So stand by, please.
Might be best if you take mic from me or from the iPad.
Ellie, what's are you logged in as yourself on the iPad? And
Yeah.
Okay, and what's where are you logged in on that laptop that you're sitting right on?
I'm on Teams on this as well.
Okay, stand by. Yep, that's sounding a lot clearer now.
Okay, cool. And Bev also could potentially turn her mic on if needed.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm just having to reset everything just to get the signals back.
No, because he
Just
asks you to dip in and out, so it might be. Sorry.
okay. You guys ready?
We are ready. Yes.
Okay. Okay, live stream will go live in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome everybody to our final community board meeting of the year. So I'd like to call on member Belkey to do the karakia meeting, please. Thank you.
It's here to a mai kia mātou, te lau lau, so ausana tōkata, ko maramatanga mō tēnei rā. God, give us your peace, your love, your strength, your understanding and your wisdom for this day. Amen.
Thank you. I'd like to go into public forum now and call on Amy House to come to the table, please.
Come forward, and if you stand just as close to the end of the table as you can. Perfect. Thank you so much.
You've 3 months.
I'm one of the local mums from Pukenui. And I've recently done a petition to get a pedestrian crossing in Pukenui to help our kids get to school safely and to also help the campus get across the main road. I've got 83 signatures here, and I would have had a lot more support with me from the local constable and mums, but we've got our school president today and he's got some training thing on. So I think it's really important because the kids have nowhere safe to cross. And just recently, one of my friends' kids was nearly hit, as someone burst out of the car park to the shopping complex. And it's quite busy. A lot of kids ride bikes and a lot of kids walk to school, and there's just nowhere after school. All the kids go down to the local wharf, and it can be really dangerous with all the logging trucks and everything parking through the state highway. So it would just be so beneficial to the whole community if we had somewhere safe for everyone to get across the road.
What do you think, Amy?
I think just slightly south of the Lamb Road intersection and the Wharf intersection. So, yeah, sort of outside our old house, which was like 4133 Farnworth Road, which is just south of the intersection.
So you put both in the state highway or the
Yes.
little road?
State highway.
Yeah.
That goes through like past the one of the walls, complex.
The state highway is 50 k's at that point. Thinking about putting it.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah, so we don't understand what we do here is we let so the regional Facebook
Yeah.
for roads. And so we need to move the dots.
Yeah.
And also got our safety engineer for every school, so they do isn't protected.
Yeah.
And for safety, was that finished done this? School with you?
Was there something done right outside the school, or was that for parking lot?
So, no, that was for traffic calming.
Oh, yeah.
Elizabeth was supposed to be online here today, but she's not.
Is anyone running on that?
No.
This is recorded, so we do have.
So this is the state highway and the NZTA is the controlling authority for the state highway. But Madam Chair, there's no reason why this board cannot write a letter or something supporting the need for a pedestrian crossing because it is very busy up there.
Yeah.
And there are more and more people up there all the time.
So did someone take a note of the number? Oh,
If the.
where you'd like it, yeah.
Sorry.
4133.
4133.
The other thing is about the states is in the same office as NCTA, so they can answer that in funding.
Yeah.
And we could find a located for, you know, we had asked for a clip on fridge.
Yeah.
Fridge's name.
Right.
Yeah, the right fridge.
Oh, yes.
So if we had a bundle of safety improvement, so we could ask one of the cost of the budget, it's a safety budget. We need to advocate for that to go to the next regional management sports plan review cycle. For us, unfortunately, we're waiting another 3 years.
Well, I put this on the local community Facebook page up there and no one objected, no one said,
Oh.
yeah, everyone was in for it, so,
Have you got the petition with you?
yes.
Perhaps you could give it to Beard. And then we can write off the two of them.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah.
And the name for the voting person who is on the committee is Steve McNally.
Oh, yes.
So he has voted in the regional chair of that committee. His name is Joe Carr. And he has connections in the south, so we'll table it with them.
Yeah.
Because they'll have a vote to include that in the next funding cycle.
Thank you.
We'll do our best. Thank you so much for bringing it to our attention. Thank you, bye-bye. And we'll just go to this guy in here, Stephen. Yeah. Welcome to the floor, Stephen Allen, please. You have 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Reputation.
I've prepared something to read, if that's okay.
It's up to you.
Tēnā koutou e te puari o te Hiku o tika.
It is really
O
bad.
te hemanga ngā mihi. Ngā mea makatua. Tauranga tira mana. Ladies and gentlemen of the community board and chair, members of the community, season's greetings to you all. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to my submission on the A&T Trust request for an extended lease over Tangangi Park. As I mentioned when I spoke last month, my name is Stephen Allen. I'm a private consultant with 34 years experience in the social sector, 26 of which have been based in Kaitaia. For the last 7 years, I've lived on Bonnet Road. I stay one property over from the volatile intersection of Bonnet, Jamison and Masters, which links through to Lake Road and Grigg Street. Geographically speaking, the epicentre of Kaitaia West. In the 7 years that I've lived there, my house has been burgled twice. I've had a car broken into and ransacked. I've had a trailer stolen from my front yard and a boat stolen from my driveway. Also, I've witnessed and intervened in numerous violent incidents directly outside my house. I've called police dozens of times, including for domestic violence incidents happening inside houses close to mine. On one occasion, I called an ambulance for a young woman who cut herself severely while smashing a window during a domestic violence incident on Jamison Street. I helped apply pressure to her wound on the side of the road while we waited for the ambulance to arrive. I lived directly opposite the location where a young man was bludgeoned to death at the end of 2015, about a month before I moved into my house. 2 houses up from me, I attended a funeral for a bright young teenager who died from injuries sustained in a car crash that happened at the end of Bonnet Road, right down the bottom, while travelling in a stolen vehicle. Over the back of my fence lived the man who was murdered in a high-profile gang-related case. His children used to play in the grassy section adjacent to my house. His house is now gone. It's replaced with high-density Kainga order housing, full of children. At the end of my driveway, on both sides of the road, school buses collect and drop off young school children 5 days a week. And in the time that I've lived on Bonnet Road, I've witnessed young children full of innocence and joy, catching the bus, returning home from school, playing in the streets, throwing stones at cars, throwing gang signs at each other, using foul language and terms that could only come from the adults in their lives, growing up, coupling up, having domestics, and gradually I've seen that bright spark of hope fade from their eyes. They become young men shuffling up the street with dark eyes full of disillusionment, heads bowed and fists clenched, or young woman striding up the street, eyes full of tears, disappointment, anger, and frustration. See this regularly. And it's heartbreaking to witness. Every day the children gather at the end of my driveway, and I wonder which ones will survive to lead full, productive, meaningful lives. That said, I also see families clinging to the hope that their children will find a way to not only survive, but to thrive. I see that hope in the eyes of parents during events such as the recent A&T Christmas in the Park, held last week at Tanonge. I see families, local families volunteering to take neighbourhood children to basketball practice, using Hangi fundraisers to resource petrol and uniforms and equipment. In previous years, even the Mongrel Mob held Halloween events at their former headquarters. 2 houses up from me, the kids loved it, heaps of lollies, and even the grown-ups wore masks and fancy dress. Over the road from the mob pad, the Seventh-day Adventists held weekly community meetings. The parents loved those, a night of cooking and a chance to come together as a community. I'm not trying to paint a picture of doom and gloom, but for those of us that live on Bonnet Street in Kaitaia West, this is our daily, weekly, monthly, yearly reality. And over my career, I've worked with the A&T Trust and almost all of the social service agencies in Kaitaia, and I can say from my experience that A&T's plan for Tanonge Park will not be the one thing that changes the world for these children and families. But in my experience, their plans are absolutely a step in the right direction and absolutely something that is needed in my neighbourhood, and absolutely the type of initiative that can build and strengthen hope amongst families. And hope is a powerful force of change. So I stand before you in endorsement of A&T's application for an extended lease over Tanonge Park. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou.
Thank you so much. Spending speakers now.
Yeah, we go to Cyril Weather.
They're all.
Yeah.
Oh, they're on the way, aren't they?
No, sorry, she's here in person.
Oh, okay.
Should get a copy of that letter.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's not.
I'd like to welcome to the table now Thurl Weber, is it? Okaihau College. Thank you.
My name is Phil Weaver, and I'm the Finance and Property Officer at Okaihau College. Thank you for seeing me today. We've made an application to the Hiku Community Board. So Okaihau College next April is going to be hosting the Kapahaka Festival. We are expecting 27 kura to be coming to our festival, and we are looking at between 8 and 10,000 people to arrive into the village of Okaihau area. We are, it looks like we'll be having at least 4 kura from the Hiku area, and we need a lot of assistance to make this for our whamariki of our area. The budget at the moment that we are looking at is $100,000 to host the festival successfully for 2 days. And we've applied to the Hiku Community Board to help us with some incidentals, portaloos, rubbish bins, chairs, scissor lift, walkie-talkies, and for some shirts for the volunteers that are going to be on the ground to host those 2 days. We have applied to other funding sources for a marquee, which is $24,000, and for sound systems and everything else, which are over $28,000. So anything that the Hiku Community Board could give us would be greatly received. We have applied to the other 2 community boards as we were advised to, and we are going to those funding hearings in the next 2 days as well. But we look forward to hearing the outcome of me being here today. And thank you very much for seeing me.
Thank you. Is there any questions?
Just one question about Matthew Okaihau this weekend. Was that something you got? It was.
No, that was the Community Association. They did the Christmas parade. But we did hold the Northland Beach Volleyball Trials for the first time ever. One thing I do need to say about the festival is I do know that a lot of funding sources don't fund if it is curriculum or NCA. But Kapahaka Okaihau College is not a curriculum subject. It is not a compulsory subject. Our students choose to do it in their own time after school, and in the weekends they pay to go to Norwell. So, you know, some of them will be assessed and moderated, but our school is not a curriculum subject, so.
Thank you.
Did you apply for events funding? The council has events funding.
I've applied to Creative Community. We were successful with some funding the other day, which was fantastic.
Mm.
And we've applied to the Trot, which is the Tautoko Kapahaka Committee as well. They're looking to maybe assist us in our Foundation North. But we won't actually hear from some of those till February, March. And our festival is the 10th and 11th of April.
Mhm.
So we are starting to get very concerned because we want to be able to give this to the community and supporters. We're looking at Makarangi North for our festival, so 27 kura coming is a lot. And we feed them and we have 2 stages running side by side with the gymnasium and putting a very large marquee up in our courts. We have to have security on site for a couple of days to make sure everything's okay. We're just trying to tick our boxes. Yeah, make it a good successful festival.
Thank you.
Any further questions, Carol? Thank you so much for coming along and talking to us today. And you'll be informed later on in the day of our decision. Thank you. Who's next?
Kia ora, do we have Jordan online at all or in person?
Sure, I'll just send you a message, please running late, if we go through the other speakers, you make sure he's there.
Kia ora. Okay, so if you want to go to John.
Hey,
He's talking about community assets. His deputation.
was he a member of the public or was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He was supposed to be involved.
No, his deputation. He requested to come and speak.
Oh. It's a John.
Yeah.
Welcome to the table, John. Argent, please.
Morning.
Morning.
Community board members, I'm here today to hopefully bring a change in our community that will save lives. I've noticed that community assets are being used to promote a religion that is harmful to our community, especially our youth. And I'm talking about the LGBTQ plus religion and the use of the rainbow system symbol, especially on public seating. Yes, it is a religion. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines it as a cause, principle, or system of beliefs held to with adilla and faith. So, as it's a religious issue, I believe that it should not be promoted using community assets. The religion is harmful in so many ways that it should not be promoted by a board or community that is supposed to have the community's best interests at heart. So let me explain a bit more for your information. So our lesbian women have a greater risk of developing breast cancer than heterosexual women. Compared to 35% of heterosexual women, 43.8% of lesbian women and 61.1% of bisexual women have experienced rape, physical violence, and or stalking by an intimate partner. On average, lesbian and bisexual women drink more than heterosexual women and have a higher occurrence of alcohol-related problems. Research has also discovered that higher rates of smoking, cocaine, and marijuana use among lesbian and bisexual women than heterosexual women. Lesbian and bisexual women suffer from higher rates of obesity than heterosexual women. So, G, men who have sex with men are at a higher risk of infection with HIV, the virus that causes AIDS, as well as other sexually transmitted infections.
Sorry. Gee, I don't want to cut your, this is relevant to council,
Is this?
relevant to council in a role as a community board.
Yes, well, I think it's, I should have been really with the Kiri Wife Whangaroa Council, but the council sent me here originally.
Where are the structures you're referring to?
It's relevant because it's being promoted using public seating.
Children like rainbows.
What's that?
Children like rainbows.
Yes.
But where is the LGBTQ seating that you're talking about? I think that's what people are sort of asking, like your
I get what you're saying, but where is this evening, just so we can,
Yeah, well, the community board originally, allowed the seats to be painted in that as a promotion.
Where?
but we are.
Yeah, well, like I said, Kerry Whangaroa. That's where I, you know.
I don't know, it's rainbow seating, or they actually LGBTQ seating, like, are they promoting that, or are they just rainbow as a rainbow?
They painted them rainbow and I phoned up and they said they were done to promote the LGBTQ
And that was the
community.
community that we ran up, and they
That-
did that.
Yeah,
So yes, it should be, Madam Chair, Bay of Islands Whangaroa Committee.
Yeah,
Exactly.
this doesn't affect our area that, I can't see any seats being painted rainbow colours in our area. I wouldn't have even dreamed.
I saw one outside the library in Kerry yesterday, that was just painted
This is it.
rainbow colours and that was it.
Yeah,
I thought it was really cool.
yeah,
There
there's
was
one.
no sign to it.
Yeah.
I think you,
But it's not relevant to our area. That's,
No.
no, it's not relevant to our area, so.
Who directed you here, sorry, for this meeting?
what's that?
Who actually directed you here?
Well, the council, I sent an email to the council saying, I had concerns with it and they, sent me here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Could I give a copy of that email?
I'm not sure.
If I give you my email address, you send me the email that you got from council telling you to come to this meeting,
Yeah, well, yep, yeah.
because you're not, you should really be with the.
Bay of Islands.
Yeah, Bay of Islands.
Yeah.
But I'd just be interested to know.
That's why I sent an email back saying, I thought I would be.
Is he going
yeah,
to the Bay of
that-
Islands?
And I have been booked
Through
in
the
with
chair.
on Thursday.
Through the chair, I understand that an application was made to speak at all three community boards. And Te Hiku is the first of the three boards to meet.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Kia ora, kia ora.
Mm.
Our kura is called Te Rangi Ha Niwaniwa, which means the sky of rainbows. And we welcome kids, well, all kids who want to learn Te Reo Māori. And whether they're gay or not is irrelevant, that they're good human beings, so. I don't think we can outlaw rainbows, and it doesn't necessarily affect LGBT, whatever. Yeah, so you're not really saying you're anti-rainbow logos, are you?
No, what I'm saying is community assets shouldn't be used to promote religion is dangerous to.
It's an opinion. It's an opinion you hold. But you know, I'm just saying, from our point of view, and from a humanity point of view,
Which part of it is an opinion?
yours to say that it's about heterosexual versus lesbian versus bisexual.
Madam Chair.
You should, that valid research.
Yeah, for what's months.
Well, there's, I have a reference to.
Madam Chair.
It's an opinion.
I'd just like to thank you so much.
Statistics prove that religion
Yeah.
dangerous to people's health in many ways.
Okay. Thank you, John, for coming. I think you're at the wrong venue here, so
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
What's next?
Okay, so we are going into the Maui domain lease.
So how many is there?
So we've got, and I don't know about these three. I don't know if these three are here. So potentially at the moment, we only have two to hear from. No, Leslie's not here. We have Kura Adams online. And Manawira and Carlos and Haley are here just as one speaker. But none of these three that I can see are here.
Is she online?
No, Leslie's not online.
No, I'm talking about this one.
Oh, yes, Kura is online.
Yes, I am.
Yes, next
Good
we
morning,
have
everyone.
Kura
Adams.
online here, so you're welcome to speak now, Kura. Thank you.
Hello. I'll just share. Thank you for hearing me today and allowing me to speak. Is there a screen that I show, or can I share the screen, or am I?
If you turn your camera on, we can see, but it is on a small screen at the back of the room. So if you're wanting to share any documents or anything, it will be really hard to see them.
Okay, I will try. We can access camera. Oh. Okay, I'm just going to do my submission. Is that okay? Because I can't seem to share. I'd love to share because I do have a lot of other stuff that is like evidence I've found. But however, kia ora everybody. My name is Tui Kura Adams, or also known as Kura Adams. I'm a descendant of Te Pauri, Ngāti Kuri, Te Rāroa. I also descend to Te Whānau Pani o Whangaroa and Ngāpuhi. My mother is Piki Te Kaha Piggy Adams. Her mother was Ngāpeka Ngauma. Her father, and then her father was Ngauma Rewiri Hungi, and his father is Rewiri Hungi. He is our tūpuna, who was one of the first certificate landowners of Muri Whenua that included Te Neke block, as well as a landowner in Te Uhiroa. He was one of the many Māori who petitioned in late 1800s to ask that the surplus land of Tangongi be returned to Māori. So he was Rewiri Hongi and 11 others petitioned with Reihana and 47 others, and so on. And the government response was NAC recommended that these outstanding grievances be inquired into a royal commission, by a royal commission. So that's the information I've found. Our family has been, out of the loop and all the history, but we do carry our whakapapa. And it led us to Tangongi. But at the same rate, my dad, he actually built the rugby league club room behind the netball courts. So he was right into having, a social reason to be together, to whakawhanaungatanga. So we'd have rugby league club rooms from Pangaru, Paoringa, Herekino, all the way up to where am I? Hauhora, Hauhora, Whangatoatia, my dad was right into that. So me and my family, we're right into this petition going through. However, we have hit a snag because we realized that our grandparents were evicted of Tangongi. Well, my grandparents called it Te Neke block, but I don't know, in the judicial system, legislation, they changed it to Tangongi. So however, it's now called Tangongi of the Ahipara. And I just realized last week that I'm talking about a different block to what this meeting's about. But I still explained that anything that happens with Tangongi, our family have always been out of the loop. So would like some sort of kōrero to us. We've lived in Ahipara, we've lived there for 50, 60 years. In my mum and dad's home, that they, even though they whakapapa and the history of the land ownership is so strong in our family, my dad still worked 30 years to pay for the 1 acre block that we now love and cherish in Ahipara. And then we only just realized that we're in Ahipara because of my mum as well, the Ngāpeka side, the Ngauma side. And there's a lot of land loss. So we yeah, we are struggling to be able to be supportive of this. However, we're very close because I have a quick little update. So over the week, last week, and going off this, I wanted to do more research in where my family lie in this kōrero of Tangonge. And thankfully, we've been gained the access to first holiday, you know.
I just want to
my
stop
mum
you there. Excuse me, I just want to
Yes.
stop you that you've gone over time. So would you like to
Okay,
end
sorry.
off, please? Thank you. Considering you're
Oh,
not
yeah,
talking to the same block.
Yes, no, we're not, but whenever Tangonge comes up, Tangonge is, there's no Tangonge Kairaia versus Tangonge Ahipara. It's one Tangonge for us. And if the,
Okay, thank you very
you know,
much
if
for your
the,
deputation.
yeah. But I'm just gonna say that we've improved our situation where we can now gain access to the bottom of Brass Road. So we're closer now to supporting this Bonnet's Road being given, because we are part of the community and always have been, to encourage whānau, family to get together in a safe environment. So we're all for it. It's just that we had that little hiccup, and we're working on fixing that too.
Okay,
But,
thank you very
guys.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, who's next?
Manawera.
Okay, Manawera, you have 5 minutes to present. Thank you.
Got a photo on the mark, you know, the, I just want to straight off the bat say that I've read the report there. It sounds very encouraging. Appreciate that. And I'm happy to speak with the 5 objectives if they wish me to. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to do the best we can for our community over the Kaikaia West. So we appreciate that. We appreciate that we're looking at the 15 by 15, 30-year lease. And also the opportunity that we now have under the ANT banner and other organisations as well, to now try and source outside funding, funders to total for the rest of the program that's here in the book. So really appreciate that, and thank you very much. If there are any issues that you'd like me to address that you've read in the report, I'm happy to do that. Hopefully I know some of the answers. But there is one thing that I would like to say. There is, as Kaitiake and the Tautoko Tanui Park, there is no way that we would object or withhold people with their gender, regarding their gender at all. So I just want to make that right. Yeah, would support anybody, whoever wants to use that park. Yeah. So the park is for youth development and can be used for youth development and sport, but at the end of the day, it's the Tautoko, the family unit. And that's what we've done. And I noticed that in the thing there are some things that we are behind it, but that's only because we've utilised our pre-care that we have received to try and get the park up to a decent standard, which we think we're on our way there. So my apologies also for Mato Oli. He's not a member of ANT, but he's a founding member of Kaitaia West. Unfortunately, they've had a death in the whānau, and so I didn't want to disturb their grieving process. But I just want to say on behalf of ANT, appreciate all the work, and especially from the previous board as well, and the time and effort that we put into. So hopefully we've satisfied the requirements by not only the community board, but also the Whānau District Council. We're looking forward to working with you. We'd love to keep you in touch with everything that we're trying to achieve and do. And I think in regards to Tipene's kōrero, yeah, we want to encourage hope in our whānau. And that's what we want to use the park for. So I just want to say thank you very much. And unless you have questions for me.
I just wanted to congratulate you guys on the Christmas day the other day. We had a school function and quite a few of the kids came to the function after they'd been and they had a great time, and the adults did too. So yeah, awesome feedback. Yeah.
You know, and even though, you know, we work, our money is with A&T, but this is a whole community effort. And so we appreciate that. Probably I will let the council know that. I'm happy to go and help with the community with the lighting and see how we can put requests in for, especially for our kuia kaumātua. And that's another
Yeah.
issue. But thank you very much.
Oh, well, thank you so much, and I must apologise for non-attendance at your Christmas in the park.
You got the invite, that was enough.
I know. But thank you so much for, you know, doing everything for your community.
Any questions?
And then keep this for the current meeting, the recommendation, we have these for the current meeting.
There's one little thing in there, and that is that we actually don't, we're not spokespeople for Te Rāua or with Ngāi Takatoa or Ngāti Kahu, but we're happy to work with them. In fact, our main point of contact there is Mr. George Riley, who's the CEO. We're working in conjunction with Iwi as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
The only person that is coming is Jordan is coming at 11.
Okay, well, we can continue on until he comes. Thank you. Here he is now.
Sorry.
Hi.
They were all supporting.
Welcome to the table, Jordan. You're welcome to.
Over here,
Yeah.
these are our staff. Michelle Rockall is the team leader of property and all of our assets, community assets.
This is Jordan, who's
Colleague is
has a funding application on behalf of the Aonui Community Hall. Is that right? Yeah.
Thank you for having me today. The third time I've come and asked for support from the community board. Thankfully, the second time council took ownership of the asset with the second fund. The first time was to help us buy a tractor. I'll tell you guys how much of a difference us having a tractor on site has made to costs and our overheads and our agility to keep our centre and complex in tip-top shape. So it's something that the community can be proud of. As part of continuing to redevelop the sports complex, we would like to reseal and repurpose our netball courts. So the rugby club that operates on our complex, the netball club has 7 teams, and the surface that they play on is it's pretty shocking. They have to sweep it every fortnight as the seals are stripping away, and it's not really safe for them to run around on. So we're looking to re-asphalt those courts. At the same time, we've identified that there's a lack of publicly available basketball hoops in Aonui for kids, for adults to go and get the shoot around on. But it's used that basketball hoop across the road as evidence there's definitely appetite for hoops in our community. So we want to make that space available as well for Aonui and for people of Te Hiku to go and have a shoot around, but a full-size court so that people can have proper hands to pick up. Our members have already indicated that there will be some significant use. So we started this project at the start of the year, like waiting to price it up. Since then, the cost of bitumen's gone up significantly. So we've had to requote it, and it's another 15% increase. They've told us that they can hold this price till February, but there'll be another increase coming, which is well. And we've been going around quite crazy the last couple of months, applying for funding everywhere. I've managed to secure the bulk, and as requested by the funding team, come back once we've hassled everyone else. But here I am to hassle you guys for the last bit. Just very thankful to be here, and grateful for any support that can be offered. But at the same time, mindful of another price increase on our quote if this keeps dragging out. So hopeful and kind of a little bit of pressure in the hope that you guys can come to the party for it. But any support will be greatly appreciated. Does anyone have any questions?
Any questions?
So there are 17 teams that play, is it?
Seven netball teams.
Okay, but
Yeah.
and sometimes you get home games for, and other teams.
It's a training facility for them.
Yeah.
But it's like there's people playing tennis on the courts, yeah, every other day at the moment. But like I said, we want to make it like a basketball space as well. Kind of repurpose it so that there's another use.
So they play tennis sometimes and.
Netball in the winter, and then in the summer we put the tennis nets up,
Oh, yeah.
and members of the public can just come down for a hit. So, which is unusual at the moment, because I think it's just us and the courts up in Pukenui that you can just go and have a hit. Can't do it at the college anymore.
Through the chair.
Yes.
How long have they been secured?
We last sealed those courts. And I was something like 8. Yeah, but I was like 8 or 9. My dad, Bill cleans the Ritzy, they, spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on the facility and all that stuff's at the end of its lifespan. So we're starting the next lot of replacing and upkeep and kind of getting it back to that level of spec everyone's proud of.
Just curious, and nothing to do with your application, just wondering, does anybody play squash anymore?
Me and a few mates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I just wondered, that's all. Thank
yeah,
you.
it's not as popular as it used to be, nor is it over here, sadly. It's a great game, but yeah, there's just probably about 8 or 9 of us in the club that regularly play squash.
Will you do some sort of like advertising and just put it out there that people can use to up their thoughts and resurface?
Yeah, I mean, we've got well over 1,000 members in our Facebook group, and most of them are here locally. There's a big block of people that have immigrated to Oz and keep up with rugby club. So yeah, we'll definitely be promoting that there.
Shouldn't, Jordan, like I could see that being, especially the tennis side of things, getting quite popular. Shouldn't there be some sort of core hub to keep the maintenance up, sort of thing? Or
I mean, it's quite like we have like a social membership,
yeah,
but we've never wanted to lock the gates or kind of have it monitored.
no, I understand. I just think it'd be people out there that would, that would probably want to support as well. You know what I mean? Instead of being, especially around you remember how busy the Cotto College courts used to be,
Yeah.
When
well, that's where we grew up playing because it was free.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, good on you, mate.
Okay, thanks, Felicity.
Hey, Flip.
So if I'm not involving some questions about your facility, why are you here? Just
Yeah.
because I know there's a huge amount of renewals over $1 million for that facility. on the
Yeah.
books currently.
What's that? Can you explain what it is? Is that money we can spend?
So.
Where do I talk to?
Not seriousness. This facility is a key facility with a huge amount of money that's being carried forward year after year.
Yeah.
And what I don't understand is what the council owns and what the courts conflict, how that functions
So we have a lease which is up for renewal in 2025.
of the facility of council.
Yeah, and it's a pretty dated lease. Hence why we had so much trouble with that submersible pump, because kind of finding out or interpreting the lease was a big issue, because it says stormwater is our issue to manage. And we're saying, well, you actually gave us a system which was not fit for purpose. So this is the sort of solution. Yes, sorry.
So you have a lease, so the lease is up for renewal. So
Yeah.
then I would create my asset managers, if this is a legal courts on council owned land, how does that fit into our asset register, and are there accumulated renewals for that asset?
Well, I mean, I've reached out for support to the asset management team because the community hall is getting a lot more use at the moment. And I'm quite worried about the overall condition of it. And I've voiced those concerns with asset management. and highlighted some of the perceived hazards that I have, but I mean, I heard nothing back and I followed up and I've heard nothing. So.
So, I don't know if our asset managers are online, what staff are online or not, anyone about reserves, anyone? No.
Can all this be noted, please, for the asset managers? And Rochelle, can you note all this too, please? Good, thank you.
So just to let Jordan know and your board that we do need to have a meeting with our community board because I think it's even over $1 million of renewals, plus your leases coming up for renewal, so we've got the lease line that we're looking at.
Yeah, cool.
And I think our staff probably need to bring up on that conversation and get it well and forward with certainly I'm aware of like other halls that we've had that and may not be in areas that are having increased population.
Yeah, well, we're keen to work together, but on there's a couple of us that are just taking the bull by the horns and just trying to get stuff done.
Yes, well, I mean, how much did we get down $1 million?
I don't even think we could spend it. Being honest.
Your solutions by these answers to our problems with this.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
So I'm sure that our staff, we believe will make a to do with the catch up. But in the meantime.
Yeah, well, I mean, admittedly, when there's been items that the asset management team, like when it gets to the critical stage, like they replaced our deck 3 months ago because the engineer came out and condemned it. But it takes getting to like that critical stage before something can get done. And if I use the hall as an example, it's like there's huge panels on the roof that look like they're just hanging on. And I'm
Is that a health?
I'm shit scared that they're gonna fall on someone.
Is that a health, that's a health and safety?
Yeah, and I've heard that, I've written that in writing with the
Yeah.
managers, I've put that in an email, but I know there's been nothing come back.
Yeah, is it,
So,
I mean, the council's responsible for the actual hall, but you know, the.
the upkeep, yeah.
Through the chair, the last time we spoke and we were there, it was Darren with you, but I think he's some sense to move on. Yeah, so, yeah, even at the, creating another network.
Any other questions for Jordan? No. Oh, thank you, Jordan, for coming along. And we'll be informed, you'll be informed later in the day as to how, you know, what we do. So
Thank you.
have a happy Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, that church is meant to use the. I will keep on.
Would you like a quick break now? Yep. Yeah, excited. Okay, we'll just have a quick break. Is that all right?
Yeah.
For sure. Thank you.
Yeah, Harley, can you please pause the live stream?
Pausing live stream.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen in the room, just please be aware that the Teams call is still recording for the purposes of live streaming because YouTube is down.
Okay.
So mute the room, please.
Yeah, but it's more like that. Yeah, so
Hi, Ellie. Ellie, while you're there, can you give the camera part a little bit of a wipe? It's blurry, smudgy.
End of conversation.
Hi, Harley, can you please confirm that live stream is ready to go back on, please?
Yep, standing by.
You ready?
Yep.
Ready. Ready when you are, please, Harley.
Could you just confirm which agenda item we're going back to, please?
We're starting on confirmation of previous minutes, 6.1.
No, we're
6.1.
going to be doing conflicts.
Oh, sorry,
We
Adele.
haven't actually done that yet.
We're going to conflicts of interest, item number 2.
Item 2, okay. Okay, game live stream resuming in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Thank you. So welcome back to our meeting. I would like to call for, well, there's no apology because everyone's here. So any conflicts of interest?
Myself or A&T, the Tamu thing.
Okay, thank you. No other conflicts? Okay, thank you. So we'll move on now to the confirmation of previous minutes. 6.1 on page 8. So I have read the minutes, so I can move those. Do I have a second? Thank you, Bill. All in favour?
Madam Chair, the last thing that was in the paper about our meeting was just funding applications. And I asked there was some publicity listing about the footpaths that have been included for 2024-27, so the public know what's planned. And there hasn't been any publicity about that. It would be helpful if we did something more than just funding applications when we did our press release this year.
Okay, have you made a note of that, please? Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. Any other questions? Okay, so you've all said all of those. We're now going on to the 7.1 on page 16 is the lease extension request to Aotearoa, Kapikahu and Uarara A&T Trust. I'll move it. You'll have a second, please, and then we can discuss it.
Darren?
Okay. I'll read these submissions and we have a couple of people that at the end who don't agree, but however, I'm very happy with the submissions. It's been a number of people who want this to go ahead, which is great. And I'm sure it'll be such a valuable asset to the community on the western side of Waitaya. Does anyone else have anything to say?
Yeah, I went to the Christmas in the park on Wednesday.
Oh, good.
And met Marawira, and it was incredible. And I back at 100% because it will soak up a lot of the trouble on the streets that park. Because if you kept seeing them tired from playing touch or rugby or soccer, and they've got the elders there to do it, and they're going to do it. That's going to win.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, it sounds really good. I just have a query, the terms for 30 years, what happens if in about 20 years there's not the interest anymore? Is it part of the conditions of the lease that it's maintained to a certain level?
Well, it's 15 up to 15 years, and then it can have a little look at. So I'm for sure that Michelle, is it?
Michelle. Yes, so the lease is for 15 years plus 15 years, so after 15 years, they would have a right of renewal where we can reassess if it's still needed. And if anything during the time of that term, if any issues do arise, the lease can be renegotiated or even terminated if it's not needed.
Yeah. Any other comment from any of the board members? Felicity.
Madam Chair, can I just say that I think it's really great that we finally come to this. We've got a long-term leave table. ANT has been very patient with us. And I think this is an example of a reserve that's quite a way out of the way, and it's not a key site for the whole of the town. And actually, this type of use in a long-term lease will enable you to apply for funding and actually to have a much bigger standard for that reserve for the locality that you would really be able to provide. I think that it's really sensible for our board and for our council to invest spaces right in the middle of the town where people naturally spend time, and this isn't one of those areas. So them taking a lead for the western area of Kaitaia is a real opportunity, not just for them, but for everyone in the localised area. I do think that the 30 years is a good duration of time. However, I think for some of those key assets, right in our town centre, 30 years is where you see a significant amount of change, but on the very edge of the western portion of town, I think, although things will change in 30 years when I'm 60. I don't think that it's necessarily the key CBD of our community. So thank you, very supportive.
Any other comments? Oh, well, all in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. Done. Thank you.
We just something over to get Hilda.
Thank you. We're now on to page 109, which is 7.2, the new ground lease to the Rarara Rugby Club Incorporated over Rarara Memorial Domain Recreation Reserve. Do I have a mover, please?
Darren?
Okay.
Second.
Thank you. We were supposed to have Leslie come
Yeah, she never, I confirmed it and she never came back to me, so.
Oh, she must be busy.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it is fairly straight.
About this when we start, if that's okay.
Yes, fine.
Is it, sorry, the director to, okay, did it pay that? Thank you. So just to clarify, council owns the land, but the rugby club, incorporated, Te Rāwhiti Rugby Club Incorporated owns the building. And there's also, soccer grounds on there, but is it all under the same legal, the club incorporated that has the lease of both the rugby field and the soccer fields? In the one lease? Yeah, so if you look at the map, it's a tiny little section that's got the football field. And the rest of it is incorporated in one section and the top bit. Okay, and part of the field. And they own the building. So for this, I'll be, I definitely support this going under full consultation. But I think this site here is very different to, for example, the Tamarani domain reserve, because this is right adjacent to commercially zoned properties, it's right in the middle of Ahipara. Though I think it's great for their use now, I see the school doesn't even have parking, and they all park inside the domain. Now even the teachers, because there's no parking on their frontage. And yeah, I'm just questioning the staff about that term of 30 years for this site here and those opportunities that our council might have with this being right in the key adjacent to the main street.
Well, as part of the Emerson Parks and Reserve policy, we can grant up to 30 years, so 15 by 15, so seems to be a plan that we do. We have no reason to not grant them a 30-year lease, but as we pointed out, it can be potentially used for other reasons in the future, so we can change this standard if wanted to. You can break it down to 10 by 10 by 10. Wanted or 5 by 5.
So what would you prefer?
Oh, I'm not proposing any amendments. I'm just highlighting a good point. I'm just highlighting that not all the reserves are the same.
No.
And I think that is reticulated, it's on sewage, you know, and so, yeah, adjacent to the commercially zoned CBD of the township. So, yeah, I think this is the key site that council owns for all of that.
It is.
So
it's $118 a year enough for them.
oh, I don't think it's the dollar value, I think it's the potential of the site for. I don't have those ideas, I'd like to hear the consultation.
It's the guts.
Yeah, definitely it's well used from the community, but.
Would a 10 by 10 by 10 still 30 years be more appropriate than a 15 by 15?
Can I just start with we go for public consultation, and when it comes back and we, you know, read all the submissions, we can decide at that time?
Yeah, the plan going forward with our submission is to, if there's any submissions that needs to be presented, they will be presented, and the following month, it will come back for recommendation to council. With the A&T trust one, because of the deadline that we have with it going back to council February, we had to do them at the same meeting, but the plan is going forward to separate them.
So this won't get to the council table till the February meeting, will it?
This one, yeah, February meeting. will go to it, yeah.
Okay.
In terms of incorporated systems, those are opportunities for review into 2025. Is that going to be written into the agreement? And when we keep that there? Yeah.
Is there any further questions on this one? I'm happy to support. All in favour? Thank you. To 7.3, which is the Kaitaia Business Association Annual Report, Annual Financial Report, and Annual Plan and Chairperson Report. Do I have a mover, please?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you. All fairly straightforward, this particular report, all the reports are there. They're well done. Bev, thank you for ensuring that everybody was on this report. Any questions? I wonder if John's got any questions when he comes back. We just sort of hang fine for a minute. John, we're just on the KBA report. Do you have any questions on the report? Okay, all in favour? Right, thank you. Up to funding applications.
You're going to talk about the page number for all the separate funding applications under here.
Yeah, I really struggled because when it publishes it into a PDF document, it takes away all of my manually changed additions. So I put them next to the deputation names on page 7. So the people that came and spoke, they're all, it says page 164 refers, and for Jordan, it says page 170 refers. And I can keep trying to put them on that contents page, but yeah, it was a real struggle, unfortunately, because the way that the contents page populates itself is from the reports themselves. And I tried to manually add it in, but it just got rid of it as soon as I converted it. So my apologies on that through the chair. I'll keep working on it, but yeah, I did put them in.
To be able to do it.
Yeah.
So we're coming up, we'll just do what each one is separate. So the Road Safety Education New Zealand. Application for 1,500. I'll move it. Do I have a second, please, and we can discuss it? Thank you. I move it. Yes. Is there any discussion on this one? Classes up here on road education.
I had a read, I had a read of this and I thought it was good in a way that it's, there's no fees and it's inclusive for everybody. Because not everyone gets, the luxury of someone helping them in this, you know. I do wonder why these, central government, you know, these come to us, you know, it's sort of like, you know, there's no, where's their budget and everything, Catherine? There's no, they've given us no, none of their expenditure or anything, you know what I mean, their income.
So, yeah.
It's not a lot of money, I know, but it's sort of like, and you, yeah.
I actually thought REAP did a lot of this sort of work.
They run the programs and but I know it's a recent driver in this program. They have been asking others to fund exactly that they don't have a sponsor.
Yeah.
And I like the idea.
Well, it's not a lot of money and I do see there's need for it. I just like the local, whoever's involved to come and talk about it, you know, so that we know the money's going and to Hiku, to the right places.
I wonder where they're going to be doing the, oh, I didn't read it properly. doing that here.
It's about force,
If you look at on the meeting or actually organisation spirit together.
yeah, well, some of it's towards the
Venue hire,
venue hire, and I think from memory,
$1,000 for the facilitator.
Facilitator.
Does it recap this contract?
Yes.
That's what I said. I did read, yeah.
I see they mentioned Nick, who's one of the local education, road safety. Like, Jonas.
What page you?
I was reading it in the additional information, I think. For what it's worth, I think we support it for, it's not a lot of money and
We'll
it's,
do it this time round and just see how
yeah,
it works. Yeah.
What we can, through the chair, what we could say is we're supporting you this time, but recommend you work with local organisations
Yes,
such as
like,
REAP
yeah,
for future applications.
I think so.
That we go going through REAP next time.
I totally agree. So if you make a note of that, considering we will consider this, we would like, we will fund it, but in future, please work with our local REAP who actually do this road safety program, which is funded by the council, actually, partially by the council. So is everyone happy with that? All in favour? Thank you. So if you can make a note of that, please,
Yeah.
That's really great. Okay, so the next one is the Hiku College for $6,647.
Madam Chair, I'll move 4183 for equipment hire. I don't think we should be paying for shirts.
Yeah.
Is that for the organisers?
A shirt with no
Yes.
student.
Yeah, I would have thought they would use vests for that sort of thing, than just, stand out, but especially the organisers. You know, when you go to all those events they have,
Oh,
and you can get those, yeah.
Madam Chair, I'll move 6647 because I just want to put it.
Then can I just ask, we've got Hilda Helen here, councillor. Have you been, or have you run there was a festival at Aniwaniwa, and so what you heard today and what's been proposed, do you think that's reasonable? When do you think our Hiku would be going and this for?
Probably it's an annual event and it's hosted by different kura each year, and each kura that hosts don't want to fund it. They don't want to pay for, the influx. Usually, so they've changed the format. Day one will be festival non-competitive. And day two is usually competitive. And yeah, so it's an annual event.
I think it's a good thing and it brings a lot of people and money and whatever into the community.
Yes, a very small community over there.
Through the chair, the last time I hosted was 2008. It was significantly cheaper to host it in 2008 than it is in 2023.
All right, well, I've moved 6647.
Do I have a seconder, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. All in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. On to the last one for the Awanui Sports Complex. Incorporated so for 13,751. John moves.
Second.
Thank you.
Can I just, I won't do it as a point of order, Madam Chair, but just the context here from the motion reads from the placemaking fund, is that? Was that intentional from start to do that?
Yes.
Yes.
But you can choose just to do it from your community grant, same plot, but.
Yeah.
Why did you put it from the placemaking funding?
Well, the current wording of the recommendation from start says placemaking fund instead of, as the two above says.
Yeah, that's
community
what I'm
grant
asking.
fund.
Definitely.
What exactly are you asking, sorry?
Why did you put on the placemaking fund?
Because it is placemaking, although you can do it from your community grant, it's up to you as a board to decide which pot of money you're taking that funding from.
Madam Chair, I personally don't think it's making it renewal of an existing asset that's not needing any.
No, that can be looked into, the renewals side of things, if there's any money.
Yes, so what I was going to suggest in this motion, because we don't have our reserve staff here, is that, well, it doesn't have to be part of the motion, but to get the request to be vetted through the organisation to ask about the renewals funding for the facility and if that funding could be used for the netball courts or what that renewals funding is tagged for.
Through the chair, looking at other, like Kirikiri Sports Complex, for example, those who are the leaseholders are responsible for everything except the outside of the building. So they're responsible for the fields, they're responsible for the courts, they're responsible for parking, they're responsible for the inside the building. All that council is responsible for is maintaining the outside envelope of the actual building on the site.
Okay, fair enough.
So that's relatively normal for most of the leases, I believe, for sports complexes.
However, the difference with this asset is it's actually a common facility, which includes a OLE hall. And that is a council asset with accumulated renewals to the tune of over $1 million. And then but this is, I do know that it is a sports asset, it's on a court. But I think that would be helpful to get clarity anyway, as you know.
Yes, well, Monganui Netball Courts was another example that got updated by council out of the renewals.
So can we just move this one out of the community fund as expected?
Yeah.
But can we also get a report to the next meeting, please, Bev, on what the renewals are going to be used for? Because $1 million is a lot of money and it sounds like that all needs upgrading.
Yeah, I think, and even if we had the staff.
Most beautiful town with the most ugly sports building now.
But in the meantime,
But just go with this one for the meantime out of the community funds.
Yeah, community funds.
So out of our grant funding.
Yeah, just do this one from the grant
Yeah,
fund.
okay, from the just change it.
But we need to know what they're going to do about making the hall look decent.
Yeah.
The building.
So you're all happy with the 13,000?
Okay.
All in favour?
Aye.
Thank you.
I think it's great.
And just moving
Yeah,
it back into the grant. Thank you. So that's a face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I get it. It's been a close since.
I think it's an even like using it food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the hall would be, I think it would be good.
So they get them to do it up first.
I think the hall would be used a lot more if that was, you know,
It's nice.
upgrade.
Okay, well, remember we're online. Everybody. So the next one is 7.5 project funding reports. I'll move this one. Do I have a seconder, please?
I will.
Thank you. And it is from Imperial School, the 150th year, so that was exciting for them. Any comment on this particular report? No? All in favour? Thank you. We're now up to our reports. To 8.1, which is the Hiku Community Board December 2023 reports. Oh, I've missed one. Oh, that's the open resolution report. Sorry, I beg your pardon. 8.1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So do I have a mover, please? Sorry, I just went to the wrong report.
Karen?
Well, Well, this is the, open resolution report. I've tried to change the name. It kind of confused me a bit. So. Is there anything on here that needs to be gone or?
We can get rid of, meeting with the chief executive to hear urgent drainage issues, because we've done that.
Leave everything else on there?
Yeah, leave it until something's done about them.
Yes.
And with regards to the last resolution regarding the footpath program priority report, can we have a media release following this meeting to say, to identify these footpaths as well? And public.
The last meeting, Elizabeth said she was taking it to council. And then she would do the meeting.
Okay, well, as long as it gets there. Then as I get questions just about every day about Melbourne Road being clouding. And the other one, can we put on, Madam Chair, is that a resolution so that it's noted that the Hiku Community Board supports the request from the Whakanui community for a pedestrian crossing against it's State Highway 1N or something. At wherever it is, 431 or something.
Beeb's made a note of that.
Yeah, but if we put it on our.
Yes, okay, we'll get it onto our list. So do we do a resolution?
I believe so, yeah.
So you want to make an amendment to this
Now, this is
resolution?
a new resolution to say that the Hiku Community Board supports the request from Whakanui residents. Petition. Well, it was a request in the petition.
Pedestrian crossing.
Pedestrian crossing on State Highway 1N.
Outside.
4137.
And can we advance that?
Yeah, and what do you do? Forward it to ETA? What's the process?
So that the Te Hiku Community Board supports the petition to
from Whakanui residents or
Whakanui.
Or no, pedestrian crossing.
Yeah, sorry.
It will go to Stacey.
Yeah, but you don't put staff members' names, you put the organisation in case you do. And refers the petition to NTA. Because Beeb's got the petition, haven't you, Beeb?
And you got the number of the. Four one 4137. Oh, 4113, sorry.
It was Far North Road?
Yes, State Highway 1.
State Highway 1. Over 1.
Whakanui, isn't it? 4133, sorry.
Where does Whakanui start and how will it begin?
That's confusing. Over Harbour.
Yeah.
No one's on the side of it.
Oh.
It's referred to the NTA.
Yeah, so I can I'll put Elizabeth as the acting officer on that.
Yeah, okay, please. And with Beeb, because Beeb can come back to us and let us know. So Cheryl moved it. Darren seconded it.
Chair, I've also looked at all those ones signed drainage and discussion time.
Okay, thank you.
Also through the chair.
All in favour? Thank you. So is that all for the open resolution report? Okay, all in favour? Thank you. So we're now up to our reports. To items 8.2, which are chairperson and member reports. I'll move it. There in the seconder. So my report. So I attended just for the live stream, I attended the Best Tiny Town Award in Wellington on the 9th of November. The project group meeting on the 13th of the 11th, which was making some decisions around the town square in Kaitoia. I interviewed for the land drainage position with Andy Finch on the 13th as well. Long-term plan workshops in Kaikoai on the 14th and health and risk, safety and risk workshop. Council meeting on the 16th in Kaikoai. Housing action plan workshop in Kaikoai. A Te Hiku Community Board meeting on the 21st of November. And also intro from growth planning and placemaking team, questions and answers with a consultant. After the community board meeting, we also had a community board chairs meeting with the mayor on the 27th, transport committee meeting on the 27th online, and workshop in the afternoon online, and the Te Hiku Recreation Trust meeting. So I've given a report on the town square, we were up to, and just for the public, the first stage will be completed on the 20th. It's going to be usable in the town square. However, the fencing will go back up after the holidays and the second stage will commence, and hopefully the whole town square will be completed back towards the end of February. So that's my report. Is there any questions? Aaron, your report.
Okay, the first part, I'll take that as read. So we had a shade sale going on in Whanui and it still isn't completed. I got an email back from the shade sale fellow and Pop Energy had to come up and hand the sales because of the close proximity to the power lines. It was booked for the 29th of November and Top Energy let them down, didn't show up. So that's that. Now the other thing, this is after my report went in, but our new track in Pukanui, it needs signs telling people no motorbikes, no quads on the track because they're cutting into pieces.
Do you think that signs would stop people?
It needs something. And it also needs to, I talked to Jared about it. It needs an ongoing maintenance program. So I don't know how we go about that, but sooner or later weeds will come through the gravel. And every once, maybe quarterly or 6 monthly, it might need a roll and a bit more gravel. Because it's such a great track that you want kind of towing that. It says in the video. Yeah, put a towing did it all. But it needs to be maintained. And Jared from Hoskin Civil said they haven't got a plan for it or any money for it, so we've got to find something.
So what Jared from Boston should know is that when you do an asset, you put it into the asset register and you do a report about the operational functions when you put that into the asset register. So maybe he just hasn't done that yet, or maybe the other project managers in Boston haven't told him how to do that.
Well, can you tell me how to do it? Because I'm not quite sure how you do it. You know.
There's 400 staff at the council, I'm sure they can do the job.
Well, shall I tell them to council?
You should tell them to ring Janine, who's our asset manager, who can tell them how to do that.
Okay.
Perhaps we can do this for you.
That's me, thanks.
That's your people. Thank you, Darren. So we're now up to John.
So just another thing about the Pukenui walkway, the next stage is definitely done yet either, so maybe she's gonna add it in when all the stages are done.
But what he said to me, he said they didn't have maintenance plan.
Okay.
Game over. They think they're finished.
Okay.
Actually, while they were doing it, they took down the road speed signs and they're gone and they can be back up. I put an RFS in for that. That's in my next report.
Okay.
Okay, there is a CBEC online meeting tomorrow for community board members nationwide. Welcome to attend. Be nice if a couple of you managed it. I think it's from 1 to 2. You should have an email in your inbox somewhere. The agenda is a Zones 101 from Dr. Mike Reid at LG for LGNZ, the election outcomes summary. There's speaking about the remuneration authority update, future local government update, and the conference next year. So that's only for 1 hour. So yeah, if one or two of you could do it, that'd be good. And then I've done my job. Spreading the word. Back to the RFSs. Bev, we had one, and I haven't got it here because I didn't realise I needed it, but the getting back to the playground in Kohora. Now, Peter phoned me, which I thought was really good. And he said, I'm going up to have a look. And I said, well, can you call me? Because I'd like to show you what we're talking about. And now, so he was talking to me about it, and now he's sent
me the email.
Yeah, he sent Darren an email saying, oh, sorry, there's nothing the bollards are in the right place, there's nothing we can do about it. And I'm just completely confused because I don't even know if he's got the right idea of the whole reasoning around why we're wanting the bollards moved.
You look into that, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, because it is a problem. And he's saying, oh, we can't, what does it say there? He says we can't do anything about the people's behaviour. But if we move the bollards, they can't put their vehicles
or change their behaviour.
Yeah, they can't actually drive up on the footpath and have their dogs tied to their vans while they're listening to music and using the barbecue at the, so I don't really understand his reply.
There's a paper trail for this.
Yeah.
Both John and I have put in numerous RFSs. I'm not trying to stand on the beat.
No.
But the main reason is the footpath gets blocked and the elderly have to get mobility scooters and go onto steep ground, or elderly walkers go onto steep ground, or mums have to take their children. And you're right beside the road, which is 80 kilometres at that point. John's completely right with his ideas. We should the bollards out to the other side of the concrete.
Yeah, or the gate or the entrance. So what's happening is people want their vehicles and their music by the barbecue at the playground. They don't want to park where everyone else is meant to park. They want to be close to the barbecue because they're standing around the barbecue drinking. And they've got the dogs tied up to the car, and they're parking on the footpath, and people can't use the footpath. If the barbecue was down the other end of the playground, or the gate was down the other end of the playground, it probably wouldn't be an issue because that's where they park their cars, even though it's not ideal that they're.
But really, you do want your car by the barbecue because you got stuff to carry.
Yeah.
So that, the barbecues and then.
So it's actually two different arguments. Yeah. Do you mind not parking on the footpath? Yeah. So anyway, that's the if we could look into that again, Bev, that'd be great. And that's me, everybody, thank you very much.
So what is that putting in bollards, did you say?
Well, there's bollards at the other end, and we just saw if they went on the other side of the footpath, they wouldn't
Some
be
more
able,
bollard, yeah.
yeah.
Or move for avenue. Oh,
Yeah.
you're expensive. Or do bollards.
The barbecue's all hardwired into the power.
Yeah.
It's not just one. Yeah,
Bollards.
big move. The bollards are there, they just need to be moved out.
Ah.
It's not even replacing them. Just pull them out, fill the holes and put them here. And they can still park on the grass outside the bollards.
I think whoever's gonna
Yeah.
fix this problem has to liaise with Darren and or Joel, to show them exactly what has to be done, I think. They're on the ground up there, so.
So we Peter, Peter, we know. They did not make this, yeah.
No, he phoned to say he was going up Tuesday, they'd say he phoned me on Thursday, but then he's replied to Darren, hasn't even, I didn't even know there'd been a reply until Darren showed me today.
And I don't know who Peter was when I read the reply. Because I didn't.
Peter South District facilities will Northern around. The parts of reserves that need. It is, you know, it'd be really helpful, but Peter into our community board.
Perhaps he needs to be invited.
Yeah.
We always used to have an engineer or somebody from,
We won't know.
although,
Yes.
He was watching earlier on.
oh, let's see. Is that,
Thank you very much.
true? So we now up to member Bill Zabritsky.
Just on the second part, issues, et cetera, et cetera. Just an update, Tokoroa Beach wastewater, I brought that up this morning with Steve. I think that's really important that we sort that problem out. And those along with a couple of others that I'm working on that don't seem to go away or don't get any traction whatsoever, I'd like to try and put those on the resolution list next year. Gillies Access Road, brilliant. You said go ahead, they did it.
Good.
Now they're just arguing about the money it costs. That's all right, no problem with their problem. We'll get there.
What was the sewerage issue?
Remember, you were the last, Mr. King?
And the
Yeah, yeah. I still think there's a huge danger there. Those pipes are being, they'll continue to be until we straighten them. And that, when they, put pressure up on top, and that's why they burst last time.
Did we remind Tanya of that when she was here?
Yeah, she was here too, and also.
Right.
We can see. Unai Wharf Reserve, thank you, Ellie, for the information on, we want to go with the right to occupy. And it was for 2 walkers. We've talked to the group, including Firehilda there that was with us. I'll write those information, I'll get those to you, and I'll ask Narelle McDonald to contact you in terms of that. Is that the procedure?
Is that you or me?
That's with the right to occupy Unai Wharf 2 walker.
Oh, that's in.
Yeah, okay. So I'll get that information to you and I'll pass the relevant to you. There's only a couple of issues that we need to record. Norfolk Pines staff are on that already. Couple of issues that I haven't got there. About 2-3 months ago, we had the rates meeting at Wharepipi. I know there's holdups on RFSs, but in terms of rates and answers to rates, RFSs, is there any way I can, through you, Bed, or anyone that I can give you 2 RFSs and someone could just answer them? That's all they're waiting for is a response. Okay, I'll give you those numbers back. There's a couple of them. Tupperware Beach on the Adele on the 12th or 11, you raised the fact that Tupperware Beach Rank Road access was
Yes, I
yeah,
don't know, I haven't
it's-
heard back.
yeah, it's the 13th of the 12th and it's still
Yes.
broken.
Would you please follow that up, Bev? Thank you.
Apart from that, yeah. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So Rachel.
I just want to report, so John, I'm taking your place. Let's see. Yeah, been super busy month, and I'm still following up with my RFSs, and I'll note it all down in my next one, how I'm going with the ahipara awareness group and the Te Aroa walkers and the rubbish and the so on and so on. So we're following this along. We've been great, and we're getting nearly at the end of those.
Right. Thank you. Cheryl.
Nothing from me, thank you, Madam
Nothing
Chair.
from you.
Yes. I just want to thank our democracy services team. Actually, we work really well together. And thank you to Ellie. She's new in this role and she's been doing fantastic. Particularly juggling with the submissions this morning. You don't get to see all the stuff that goes on behind the background, and our democracy do all the travel and planes for you as well. So thank you, Ellie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ellie.
So Felicity, do you have a report at all to give to the board?
Yes, there's lots happening. I can do a verbal report if it's okay with the board, as I normally do. So yes, we went down to Awanui Top Tiny Town, taking home the win. I thank Adele for coming all the way to Wellington. And I just want to recognise how everyone was so positive at the event. And you would have thought that we won an Academy Award. We probably celebrated more than the top large city. We're the top 20 town.
We're the last year.
Also, we had our Iwi come down with us, which was, I thought was really great. We had Naikapato come down. We had a few ratepayers ask, who paid for them to come. They actually paid for themselves all the way to Wellington, just because they supported not only Awanui but the project itself. So that says a lot for our project, for our council, and really put us on the map, I think. So well done, Awanui. And further to that, yes, we've got our chair, Adele Garner, on the Hiku Sports Hub board. And she's been doing a lot of hard work there, and we're almost there. We're almost at the finish line. So we just need to get through that last part so that we can open, and usually it's those finishing works that can get us to a lot of money. So we'll be having some discussions about that and how that fits in with our budget. Don't know if I'll remember Valky, you on the sports hub or just yeah. So that's another big thing happening for our area. We are currently doing a long-term plan discussion. So that's essentially the money. I mean, the next, it's not 10 years, it's only 3 years that we're doing. So tomorrow, sorry, on Thursday, we have our long-term plan workshop, which is about our capital budgets. And we're looking at how much we're actually carrying forward. So how much we're carrying forward for the projects we don't deliver that year. And also, we're actually looking at roading as a significant increase. So that is a high risk to our district because of the significant increases that we've had. And we have applied to central government for their funding through the regional transport plan through the board. That we have with all 3 Northern councils. However, the issue is that the timing of applying for that funding, we will only find out next September if we're successful or not with getting that funding that we've asked for, because we get 71% now from subsidy from central government. So that will mean that when we decide on how much money we're putting in the budget in July, that we won't actually know until September about how much money we've got from central government or not. So we're quite let down from the financial cycles and the cycles for roading for their funding mechanisms to how we would plan with our finances with the council. And the other thing that we're let down from central government, in my view, is the 3 waters as well. We're trying to financially plan our whole 3 years of spending, but the 3 waters aspect, we were told not to include it, and now we're told to include it, and we're told, oh, stormwater may be out of it, or we're told, oh, we might have a council control organisation across all 3 councils. So there's still a lot of unknowns there, and we have to forward plan for that. And so that is a big thing for us, because Three Waters is a lot of our asset base, but also a lot of our operational costs as well in our work plan. So we previously weren't including that in our forward planning, but we need to have that discussion tomorrow, actually, to we actually include it and remove it at a later time. So yes, a Thursday will be a big workshop. We're also having the discussions about service centres and actually how much that they're costing us into Hiku. And we only have one, which is Te Ahu, and that actually includes all of our libraries as well. When you add up all the service centres and all the libraries in the Western Ward and the Eastern Ward, I think there's like 8. And it's all paid out of the general rate, same for roading. So essentially, we get one service centre and one library for our money. Paid out of the general rate that you're paying for, but we are paying for 8 service centres. And on top of, and on top of that, the libraries for all the rest of the district.
Are we still supporting Manganui Info Centre, to $10,000 per annum?
I'm not aware of that being in the budget. So, when I did ask that question though, about how much it's costing us, the answer was we don't know, because it's all been historic and it's all coded and mushed together. And some of the assets are coded as community centres, like fire or service centre, I think.
Probably service centre is important.
Yeah, so we don't actually know how much it's costing.
But can you, as a councillor, because we've only got one service centre and because Dallas Bay is the destination, sort of make sure that $10,000 does go to Manganui Information Centre if we can?
I've got one vote, so
Well,
we've got 2
obviously,
councillors here. Yeah. So you've got 2 people that.
well, logically, if we've only got one service centre,
I'm not disagreeing, I'm just saying.
you're,
Yeah.
well, I'm just saying, put your hand up, please.
Yep.
So I have to apologise for that meeting because I won't be there. So is anyone, John, can you attend, or even if it's online on Thursday? Roger, yeah. We've got Felicity, so.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, you need to know all the follow-up right through, and if you don't know all the follow-up from the beginning, it's, yeah.
Well, on Thursday's the capital works program, so yes, there's part of it about reserves. But I think the key thing is that we always have a huge amount of carry forward, so why do we put all this work in our program when we only deliver like 1/3 of it?
Yeah.
So just don't put it in the work program if it's not scoped and not going to be delivered that financial year.
Exactly.
Don't put it in the work program. I think as a council, we just need to have that discussion if we're going to be hard or not on that aspect. And actually, it will mean that we're reducing the number of projects in our capital works. And then I guess part of the other conversations, operations, and unless we know how much things are costing us, how are we ever supposed to know if we're going to remove them or not? And I think that's the first thing that really we need to find out. And another aspect about that would be the discussion on the halls. We don't know how much is each hall actually costing us. And just like the Awanui facility, how much is that building costing us a year, not just to operate, to run, but then also the depreciation, which is huge. So, as a board, what are our strategic decisions? Do we want new facilities in town centres or waterfront, or do we want the old halls are the most important facilities in our district, and we want to put all our money there? Because the discussion there has been had is can't have everything, so what do we want?
In Pukenui, we own our own hall.
Correct.
And it's immaculate.
Correct.
And looked after and fundraised for all time by everybody.
I think part of the hall's discussion should be on whether the communities need to talk to the communities, and if the council is willing to bring some of these halls up to top notch, are they willing to take them on and run the halls themselves without council being involved. And I think that's a discussion that
Yeah.
probably could be had with the hall committees. We had tried to, but I think, so, Bill?
No, I totally agree with you. No one wants to take over an asset or building that's run down to you.
No.
You start on the back foot straight away.
Yeah.
But I understand that and understand what's the
So if they were to, yeah, if the council was willing to bring them, the asset up to standard, are they willing to take that asset on? Because they're the ones that can go for funding in the future.
Well, and also in the UK model, a lot of people are they either lease or they can sell an asset and they can change and use it to a house. So I've seen that on trades. So they change and use it to a house. Or yeah, I don't know what the options are, but things have changed in the last 80 years, you know, and people try it hard. If we've got the halls within 10 minutes of each other, you know, are they getting the maximum use that they could or should? What are those options for it? But it wasn't always a hall forever. No,
Okay.
because we haven't even included overnight, you know, when we think about halls.
But they're not council assets.
Yeah, but they're used from the community. It'll be like a church too, I guess. A church might be a type of hall, people congregated.
Anyway, is that true, Felicity? Yeah.
Name.
By order.
Kia ora tātou. Always good to come in here with, you know, our deputations are saying. Just a brief update, hopefully. Hautatai, Marangai, Tātawhiwi, the landowner, Peter Hay, and the marae came to kind of a mutual agreement. And anyhow, the long shot of it is that there's a request that there's a third cost in fencing off one part of the area that they don't want, the marae don't want people driving up on or having access through, which is a known wahi tapu. And the flip side of that is that when easements or resource consents are issued, and they consult with hapu and iwi first. Otherwise, it's just a long sort of, you know, kickback. You'll need a toolkit from the beach board today. There's some contractors going out about where to place beach signage that for the summer safety program. And so they've agreed on 30 k's around the ramps and 60 k's up the rest of the beach. Unfortunately, it's an education awareness, and so there's no funding for it. So the beach board is sort of funding the 30k signage and the you know, the boards that are going to be trying to push our message about getting people on board to support safety on the beach, to protect the kaimoana, to protect the people on the beach, etc., etc. So that's happening today. They've got local contractors going out. We've tried to ask for the NRC and FNDC to go half on reimbursing those costs, but we don't have a putia for the 60k signs. So we're doing a bit of a hamu to see if we can get free signs and you know, and free eggs. And failing that, Graham Neal was going to ask iwi to fund the leads on their side of the beach. So that's happening today, and hopefully we'll be up in a week, and we're trying to do an education awareness thing with people buy into the let's be safe on summer beaches. I just got a text from somebody who had a head-on collision sometime in the last week to ask if they could talk to me. Anyhow, the airport lease, still waiting for confirmation that that's been signed off between FNDC and my takuto. And I have noticed that, I put in an RFS about a potential slip that was mentioned by Noel Clark, that he could see one developing on the way up to the airport, and I think nearly a year later that's been fixed, repaired, so that's safe. Yesterday we voted, that Morimai, would be a historic reserve at Ahimara. It was a close vote anyhow, so that's probably gonna take 2 weeks to surface, or next minutes, whatever. There's a couple of policies that are up for consultation. One is the alcohol bans is seeking renewal. And Carol Bergen was there yesterday from Te Hiku Iwi Development to make sure. I can't remember what she wanted to make sure. She came down to speak about it. She wanted something that was coming up yesterday, but the alcohol bans are there, that will be coming up for consultation. And through our Puaka Māori committee, we approved the a climate action policy, which we thought was, and with a proviso that it be socialised with hapuiwi and whānau, but not really realising the impact of it, because Kaipara Council voted against the climate policy. And there's going to be changes with the new government, etc. And the only thing I have is on the way to a tangi last week to Pangaru, the road was terrible. And somebody asked me, did I take a photo? And I said, well, because it was like you had to drop down a metre from the main road, and that went quite a bit, maybe 10 metres or so, and I couldn't take a photo because there was a school bus right behind me. They travelled through.
Didn't know go people on that road.
Yes.
If you didn't know to go careful on that road.
I knew to be careful, but I expect that. So that's something that you've been asking for. Another council has been asking for Pangaru Road. But how important our roads are for our rural communities. So we know I'm sure your team.
Thank you so much. Is there any other issues from the board?
Just in response to your report, you realise there was a meeting Thursday on the airport? Have you got an invite? Sorry.
This Thursday coming? No, I didn't get one. Is that with council?
I'm not too sure. I'll go through and I'll think it could be Peter Kitchen.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
different entity.
Okay. But just to let you know, 10 o'clock.
Oh, we've got one, the long-term plan.
Yeah, that's more important.
Well, just summarising comments about the long-term plan. So if we're wanting to consult about anything as a board, like part of the engagement strategy is if we're going to do anything with the halls, then we would need to table that with the staff, so that they include that into the consultation document. So the staff need to know soon, imminently, if we're going to consult on that as a board, like for our delegation to be halls, reserves, so if we're going to change service centres or libraries, we have to consult on that type of matter. So just tabling that with the board if we're going to be making any decisions about board. We sort of need to discuss it and table or consultation matters that are in the
Well, I'm quite happy for that to happen. To have that discussion and that consultation. And I don't know about the rest of the board members, because we've been trying to start this conversation for some time now. And
so just letting them know that the staff that are community report. If they've got any concentration items for the long-term plan. And so when February comes around, it hasn't been done, the negative, it's too late. Sorry, guys, we can't put that, we're doing the funded week, so I'm just letting you guys know. And that maybe that it's happening. They did come about Jimmy and Angie did come, what did it come about? If you finished the house and the whole thing, and then. You know, but they did come, but I don't think that what that was about, it was about, oh, the strategic plan. That's what they came about. So, yeah. Been burning it through, so you think, you know, if I can raise it on this day.
Okay, thank you, Felicity, that's great. Okay, so we'll close our meeting now. Thank you very much. Who would like to do the closing kata here? Hi, Hilda.
I te whai hanga mea te nana, tanei uni tēnei rōpū whakarite ana ngā paenga mo te hākuru o te hiku o te hiku. Pai te hoki ngā te kente kai. Amen.
Thank you. Screen. Turn her off. Turn her off.
Kia ora, Harley, can you please pause or end the live stream?
So we'll just have lunch.
Live stream
or we'll
has
just
ended.
to the next.
Thank you.
When are they coming?
They should be here, because they're supposed to tell 12 o'clock.